Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
All this Joe Ansel here, and timing your Tuesday. Cold start to the day before we get into some warmer sunshine. Most of the state included in that freeze warning to begin Tuesday, and then late in the afternoon and evening, I'll watch for a chance of some general thunderstorms and a chance of a general passing thunderstorm on Wednesday as well. As we're timing a warm front, then a cold front combo, and a trough in between with some breezy southwest winds. For ICRW forecast, it starts at home. New York City waking up to that cold start as well. Then you're near 53 out there, 61 with a chance of a shower on Wednesday. Elsewhere, Orlando, highs near 80 or so, and much of Florida, some dry, breezy weather with some potential increasing wildfire risks for today out there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, the morning freeze warning, and then highs mid-60s to near 70 up here. And then late, showers likely, chance of a passing thunderstorm and not nearly as cold. We have lows in the low to mid-50s in here, so no frost or freeze expected tonight. Warm front bringing in a chance of a shower and storm as well. Eastern areas, freeze warning, and then sunny with highs in the low 60s to low 70s in here, and near 50, give or take tonight, with a chance of a passing shower and general thunderstorm for our central to northern areas. Highs in ranks of the 60s and 70s with that freeze warning for most to start the day before we get into that warmer sunshine. And highs in the 50s for most overnight with that chance of showers and storms. And to the south, highs 60s and 70s here as well. Huntington near 79, flirting with 80 today. And then 50s overnight with a chance of a passing shower and thunderstorm. Charleston for the next 7 days warming up into the ranks of the low to mid 80s, but later this week, 82 Thursday, 85 on Friday. Two likely rounds of rain and chances for thunderstorms Wednesday and then later Saturday and Saturday night.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Coming up, GOP politics. We're going to have a Marshall J. School mini reunion. And later on, we'll meet one of the Democrats running for U.S. Senate. Lots to get to. It's MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Gang's all here. Hope you are having a great start to your day. A little bit chilly. Hope you got your flowers and gardens all covered up last night. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. The text line is 304-TALK-304. Ethan Collins is our audio producer this morning. You can give him a big attaboy if you're listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state this morning. Jake Link handles the video side if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook Live, and, of course, the Metro News TV app. Good morning, Mr. Meadows in Charleston. Let me tell you how far my friends and I, our conversations have come and matured over the years.
Okay.
Yesterday, we were going over the plants that had to be covered to save them from the frost coming last night. That is where our conversations have evolved to.
Or just don't plant anything. That's what I do.
Oh, I got a
don't
buddy,
plant
man.
Anything.
He's got
just have bushes.
He's got onions and herbs herbs and radishes and tomato plants. He's a regular old Mr. Green Thumb there. He was very concerned last night, TJ.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people were. It was the talk. I was actually, it was range night last night, Dave, with the FBI.
I saw that.
Oh, I had a good time. I got to fire a antique Springfield Army 1911 45 cal. Beautiful gun.
Cool.
Beautiful gun. I was in seventh heaven. But people were talking about the freeze last night, too, and what they wanted to do with their. So, yeah, everybody's talking about it. I get it. It's important.
Was that like graduation nights for.
No.
Or there's. Because that, I don't know how you get much better than that, personally.
No, it ought to be, right? What I really found, so if you like to shoot, and I like to shoot, everyone there last night with the FBI was a firearms trainer. So they would watch your grouping. They would give you tips, right? So you get to, these guys are pros.
Right.
So getting tips from those guys, that was really very cool.
That's one of those situations, even if you are a guy who's handled a firearm since you're like 5 years old, has grown up with them, you kind of second go, am I doing this? That guy's a pro. I want to make sure I do it right for the pro. And then you find out, I've been holding it wrong all this time. That works a lot better when you do it that way. Papal was wrong.
Also got to experience what it's like to be within the vicinity of a flashbang. That was a first for me. Interesting. You feel it. I mean, you feel it. You obviously see it. You obviously hear it. You feel it. And this was a controlled version, so I can't imagine the real thing.
That's a pretty cool deal. That's the FBI Citizens Academy again?
Citizens Academy, yeah, and just great experience. It was at the West Virginia State Police Academy at their range, and fired a MP5, and then we had a 12 gauge pump shotgun that they use in their SWAT team. So that was very, cool. It was fun. Yeah, it was good.
Cool deal. All right, well, TJ's adventures as a junior FBI agent, we'll get back to some of those a little bit later. Mitch Carmichael is joining us. Mitch, of course, former state Senate president, former state lawmaker. He's been observing the politics headed into this primary election season. He's not necessarily in the middle of it anymore, but he is observing like we are. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Mitch, good morning.
Good morning, Dave, TJ. Hope all's well there. Sounds like you had a great evening, TJ.
I enjoyed it, Mitch. You would too. You would enjoy it. It's been a great experience.
Mitch, as an experienced politico, if you will, what do you make of the atmosphere and this political environment, especially on the GOP side, headed into this primary? It is already turned into a pretty tough primary battle between many of these state Senate opponents in particular.
Yeah, and it's funny. You guys come to me for these comments because I feel like I'm too young to be the elder statesman of the party here to offer to opine on these things, but maybe not. But yeah, this is an unusual circumstance in which you see the chief executive get involved in primary races, in contested primary races, and that's an unusual occurrence. I'm not necessarily critical of it, though. I know a lot are. That there's basically they see no upside for the governor in this. Either you're going to make enemies one way or the other on it. But having said that, I think it's he has every right to promote the candidates he wants to have advance his agenda. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just say if to his credit, in essence, he has the opportunity, and the voters have the opportunity to look at what do you want to accomplish, and what are the issues that you want to, advance. My real maybe issue with it is the fact that what are the reasons you're doing this? Is there a stated goal, objective, piece of legislation that you want to advance that those you're promoting their opponents didn't support? So, be specific, I would only say. Be specific on those things. And then, maybe the other point that I would offer, Dave, TJ, is the fact that, I read a lot about people saying, oh, my God, if the incumbent hangs on and they're going to, scuttle everything the governor wants to do. And, my advice would be this. Do what's right for the people of West Virginia. Do not put personalities or personal grievances or anything of that sort in the way of advancing good legislation, whether it's no matter who it's advanced by or no matter which party advances the issue. Always try to lean, 100% towards what's right for the people of West Virginia in your view. Don't just oppose or support a piece of legislation based on who offered it, what party offered it. Those considerations should never come into to your purview. Never.
Mitch, the governor is a prolific fundraiser. You have to hand it to him. He's tied to some of these PACs, Sugar Maple PAC being one of them, $565,000 raised, being funneled out to various opponents. Would it make a difference? Are people more upset about the endorsement because there is this fundraising connected to it? And if the governor wasn't so close and offering these funds in and helping bring them in, would people be less critical of the endorsement?
No, I don't think so. I think, the money plays a role in politics. I hated it. That's part of it, though. And, the governor does, very much. He's very active in the fundraising department. But having said that, I think it's still a red herring in terms of whether or not the activities are supported by, a fundraising from from some out-of-state entity or anything. That I don't think that fact. I mean, it shouldn't. I don't think that it does. I think it's a way of generating opposition to what the governor's doing. But I don't think that really plays, at the end of the day, a role. My view.
Talking to former state Senate President Mitch Carmichael, joining us here on Metro News Talkline. Mitch, why are out-of-state interests so interested in little old West Virginia?
Well, I think it's more so every state in the union has a role to play in the broader democracy of America. And so when you see issues become relevant as they catch hold in various states and so forth. And so to the extent the governor wants to promote a certain agenda that aligns with what people in other interest groups in America want to see, I think it's perfectly acceptable for them to provide funds to support. Just pick an issue. Maybe perhaps you were talking about guns earlier in the segment. If some group that has a large outside network of funders wants to promote Second Amendment rights and gun rights, those funds can come from out of state and support the issue in West Virginia. I don't think we should preclude an out-of-state entity from advancing a cause in West Virginia. In fact, we have too much of a closed mindset as it comes to, build a wall around West Virginia and that kind of thing. We need to be more open and, accepting of those other viewpoints from out of state.
Mitch, you talk about that from out of state. And look, the court's ruled on it. Money is speech. Like it or not, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But with some of these 501c4s, here's where I take an exception, and I wonder if you share it. If someone contributes to an individual expenditure PAC, their name goes on it. I'm cool with that. I don't care if it's $100,000, $200,000. But when these 501c4s come in and they have some name that you're like, what in the world is that? Who is that? You don't know the individuals behind that. Should there be a change when that money comes in, and whether it's law or not, should those that are at the head of this PAC and taking these funds, should they explain to voters who is behind those organizations?
Yeah, obviously we all want to know, in those circumstances, who are these people and who are supporting them and so forth. We want that. And as you said, though, as you led into the question, the courts have ruled that, speech is protected and, you can disclosure issues, come into focus on those when we start taking outside money like that. But I agree with you. We all want to see and know who they are, who the people are. But, the courts have ruled. And, you can see some of the other side of that, too, TJ, because you said, there would be, complete disclosure of the person could open them up to a lot of, persecution in a sense. And so
that's fair.
We have to be careful with that. Yeah.
For years I gave to a PAC of my employer. No one knew that I gave to it. I just gave to it. So, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you can contrive a scenario in which, you would, a person or an employee would give to a PAC that perhaps didn't support the employer's grand vision, and they could be, outed, and there could be retribution because of that. So it is a difficult. It's not a yes/no answer. The normal citizen in me wants to say yes. I want to know who they are, how much they gave, all of those things. Disclosure, lean into disclosure and transparency. But then, the constitutionalist in me says, I understand, and I want to, protect the rights of citizens to contribute to anonymously to certain issues. And so it's a difficult issue, but the question arises from the fact that, okay, there's these out-of-state interests supporting West Virginia, initiatives and causes, and does that in and of itself, engender opposition? And I would say maybe it does for some. I think it's a red herring, though, and that should not be a consideration as to whether or not you support a particular candidate or not.
Mitch Carmichael joining us, former state Senate president. Mitch, on May 13th, when the dust settles from the primary election, what will it take for Republicans to get behind a common agenda and move forward so we have a productive 2027 legislative session and don't end up in a stalemate?
That is a great question, and it's the primary issue that is facing West Virginia right now. Well, you just have to sell a vision of what you want the state to look like in terms of energy, in terms of jobs, prosperity, education, those things, and unite and behind that agenda. And now there can be, obviously, there are issues that come into play, but overriding message that I want to make sure that I make clear is that do not hold personal grievances against those who either supported you or opposed you in a primary, and do what's right for the people of West Virginia. And there are great issues in which we can unite behind. For me, someone who's focused on economic development and so forth, that's the primary issue for our state is, we have to create a climate and an environment in which jobs and prosperity come to the citizens of West Virginia. And, that should be our overriding goal. And then we've got education issues that we need to continue to make our education system the best in America and not be satisfied with, poor results. And, water issues in southern West Virginia, the proliferation of data center, some of those concerns, those are issues that every West Virginia can get behind and support. And, when I was Senate president, we never focused on the social issues, so to speak. It was always about, the big things, economics, education, foster care, those type things. And I hope that's where I think the people of West Virginia can unite behind that and see a positive vision for the future, as opposed to a divisive sort of triangulate some kind of a victory with a minority of people supporting it.
Former state Senate President Mitch Carmichael. Mitch, always a pleasure. Appreciate you coming by today.
Hey, it's great to talk to you guys, and have a wonderful day.
You as well. Coming up, we'll get your thoughts, 304-TALK 304. That is the text line. A little bit later, Mike Nolting will join us from WAJR in Morgantown. A weird twist to a murder trial. We'll get the latest coming up in about a half an hour. This is Talkline from the Encove Insurance Studios.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito is more than a true conservative and proud West Virginian. She's a champion of our way of life. She doesn't just fight, she delivers, working with President Trump to close the border and keep our families safe, protect our energy jobs, and cut taxes, and establishing the New River Gorge National Park, a powerful economic engine. Shelley Moore Capito, our senator, our champion.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers, where passion meets purpose.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The region's largest restoration firm, responding from 5 locations. When disaster strikes your home or business, call Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Just a couple of thoughts off that conversation with Mitch Carmichael there, TJ. One being this statement of the day. It's a whole lot easier to say, don't take it personally, than actually applying that principle because it's tough. It is tough when somebody has campaigned against you, not necessarily for your opponent, but campaigned against you. That's tough to not take personally. That's number one. But number two, selling that vision. I get what Mitch Carmichael's saying about selling the vision for economic development, selling the vision for what you want as a state. I think the key to that is who is selling that vision matters as much as what that actual vision is. If the who is not the right person selling it, nobody's going to buy it.
Fair points. It's very tough to forgive when there's already a rocky relationship. This governor doesn't get along with the legislature.
Sure.
So you have history coming into this that you would first have to overcome. Love the optimism. I'm not sure I share it. Number two, he talked about economic development. Mitch has done that. Mitch gets out. He sold West Virginia. He went to all these companies. That doesn't seem to be a vision that resides within the Morrissey campaign. So to your point, yes, it matters who is selling it, but the vision seems very different to me. And I'm not sure that Mitch's vision, I don't want to put words in his mouth, would match the vision of the current administration.
So back to the very beginning of the conversation then with Mitch, and we've only got about 60 seconds here. The governor, certainly within his right to endorse whomever he wants.
Yeah.
And I said the gamble is you may lose that. But if you've already got this rocky relationship, which he does with the legislature, do you have that much to lose to go out and say, hey, this is my chance to shape the legislature so I can pursue the vision that I think is best for the state? Maybe it's not that big of a gamble for him. Maybe there's more upside than downside.
Well, I think there could be long-term upside, especially with some of these fundraisers. But I think the money matters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe West Virginians like to be told from the outside. We have a history of not liking being what we're told, being told, dictated to, I guess I should say, from the outside. So this money, I don't know. I think it matters. And some of these mailers, I think they matter. I think they turn people off. I think the money out from outside turns people off.
Coming up next, it's a mini Marshall Journalism School reunion. You won't want to miss it, though. 800-765-TALK's the phone number. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. This is Talkline on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all over the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Solango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Meteorologist Ansel here, and timing your Tuesday. Cold starts to the day before we get into some warmer sunshine. Most of the state included in that freeze warning to begin Tuesday. And then late in the afternoon and evening, I'll watch for a chance of some general thunderstorms and a chance of a general passing thunderstorm on Wednesday as well. As we're timing a warm front, then a cold front combo, and a trough in between with some breezy southwest winds. Full ICRW forecast, it starts at home. New York City waking up to that cold start as well. Then you're near 53 out there, 61 with a chance of a shower on Wednesday. Elsewhere, Orlando, highs near 80 or so, and much of Florida, some dry, breezy weather with some potential increasing wildfire risks for today out there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, the morning freeze warning, and then highs mid-60s to near 70 up here. And then late, showers likely, chance of a passing thunderstorm and not nearly as cold. We have lows in the low to mid-50s in here, so no frost or freeze expected tonight. Warm front, bringing in a chance of a shower and storm as well. Eastern areas, freeze warning, and then sunny with highs in the low 60s to low 70s in here, and near 50, give or take tonight, with a chance of a passing shower and general thunderstorm for our central to northern areas. Highs and ranks in the 60s and 70s with that freeze warning for most to start the day before we get into that warmer sunshine. And highs in the 50s for most overnight with that chance of showers and storms. And to the south, highs 60s and 70s here as well. Huntington near 79, flirting with 80 today. And then 50s overnight with a chance of a passing shower and thunderstorm. Charleston for the next 7 days warming up into the ranks of the low to mid 80s, but later this week, 82 Thursday, 85 on Friday. 2 likely rounds of rain and chances for thunderstorms Wednesday and then later Saturday and Saturday night.
This is Ben Solango with Solango Law. Solango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Solango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Solango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at solangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
a
great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
MetroNews Talkline continues from the Encova Insurance Studios. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. We will maybe, possibly get to the text line in the second hour. Mike Nolting, WAJR, will join us 10 minutes from now. We'll get the latest on the Joseph Navarra trial and a strange twist associated with that trial. Sounds like something right out of Law and Order. We'll talk to Mike Nolting coming up about 10 minutes from now. Joining us on Metro News Talkline this morning, kind of a mini Marshall Journalism School reunion. First of all, Chris Dickerson in his role with the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism, Mass Communications, and alum Brad McElhinny as well. He's our Metro News statewide correspondent. Well, at least two of us dressed appropriately for the occasion this morning. Chris, Brad, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all?
Doing great. Well, we brought you on, Chris, because there is a year-long celebration going on with the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism Mass Communications. It's the 100th anniversary. So what's happening throughout the year to celebrate this milestone?
Well, Dave, as you know, like you said, the 100th anniversary, and we have things going on all year. We have different lectures going on, different events. We have people coming in. Like, for example, there's a gentleman who was a student 100 years ago, almost 100 years ago, when Page Pitt founded the school. His name was Tom Cromer. He had to drop out of college then because it was the Depression. He just couldn't afford it. He basically became a hobo. You know, he rode on trains across the country, ended up writing a novel about his experiences, which was a bestseller back in the 30s. And we're going to have a lecture about him sometime this fall. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this band, 1937, the band, Not the Flood, which is based in Huntington. They've actually written a song about Tom Cromer, and they're going to perform it. And we have a couple of lectures coming and talking, all kinds of things. But what we do as the Alumni Advisory Board, what we do every year, our biggest thing is our Hall of Fame of induction every fall. And it's set for October 30th this year. And because it's the 100th anniversary, it's going to be a really special one. It's going to be a big gala rather than just a normal Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
So this would be black tie, get gussied up. This would be journalism school prom, Chris, what sounds like.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do a black tie, but, you know, people always dress nice anyway. But, yeah, it's kind of like our journalism prom. It's going to be a fun event. We're a few special things that evening as well.
So you'll be honoring the 26 Journalism School Hall of Fame class that night as well?
Yes. We're going to have an induction ceremony as part of that gala. And I'm really excited that Brad's here because I'm personally inviting him that evening because he's one of our newest members of the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Brad McElhinny.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Oh, well, thank you and thank you. Quite a surprise.
Yeah.
Journalism School, Marshall J. School Hall of Fame, Brad. Congratulations.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So save the date, October 30th, like I said.
But if my calendar tells me right, that's the day before Halloween. All Hallows Eve.
It is. So, but you'll be. We're honored that you're there. You know, as you know, I don't know if all the listeners and people watching online know, Brad's had an amazing career in journalism in West Virginia. He started out at the Daily Mail right out of college, correct, Brad? Or did you work somewhere before that?
I worked somewhere else briefly that shall not be mentioned.
Okay. Well, and then he came to the Daily Mail, and we worked there together for a dozen or so years. Brad continued on after I left, then when everything happened with the Daily Mail, he became the editor of the Charleston Gazette Mail, and now he's with Metro News, and he's been doing fantastic work. One of the state's premier reporters for 20, 30 years now. I've lost track of time, but couldn't ask for a better reporter, journalist than Brad, and we're thrilled to finally get him inducted into the Hall of Fame.
What? Oh, go ahead, TJ.
No, I was just going to ask Brad, why did you become a journalist in the first place?
Oh, I ask myself that every day. Well, so I have a daughter who has STEM skills, math and science. That is not me. I have always been a reader and a writer. I am learning to be a talker, but I'm curious about the world, and this was a way to have a notebook and to ask people pesky questions and to be at the middle of public debate. So it's every day is different. I've never been bored, and It's a wonderful career as long as you can continue to hope to pay the bills.
So I assume you got your start working with the Parthenon there on campus. Did you write it? I assume you had to write for the Parthenon.
Had to and chose to, and would like to now belatedly offer thanks to Chris Dickerson. I'm not going to say how old either of us are, but Chris is slightly more mature than me and gave me some of my first opportunities to write for the Parthenon, first in sports and then more broadly in the news section.
Hold on, wait a minute. Chris, Brad was a sports writer? He started off in sports? We've not been using him in sports all this time?
He was at the Parthenon, and then when we were at the Daily Mail, I was a sports writer at first, and then I moved over to the city desk, and I can't remember the whole timeline, but Brad and I were on the city desk together, and for a while, Brad was city editor at the Daily Mail, and then one day, after our first morning deadline, I don't know if Brad remembers this, he said, come on, let's go for a walk. We walked down to the parking garage, I think, and he said, I want to be writing again. And I said, well, that's what you should be doing. So I became city editor, and Brad continued writing, being a reporter, and he wrote a column when he was at the Daily Mail too, which was very well read and very entertaining. But he is meant to be a writer. Absolutely, yeah.
Brad, what sticks out?
We worked at the Parthenon together. We worked at the Daily Mail together. Now we both have daughters who are very good in STEM, and we're not. And if you see over his left shoulder, it looks like a picture of a cactus. I have a picture of a cactus in my dining room. So it looks just like that. I mean, it's eerie how similar our careers and lives have been.
Brad, what sticks out over your career? Is it a story? Is it something? I'm just wondering, as you reflect, what sticks out?
Well, as they say in the legislature, I hadn't planned to speak today. So, it truly is a privilege to be able to walk up to people who are at the center of our politics and our culture and ask them questions about why they do what they do, why they've made the decisions they've made. And, it's been practically every day of that for all these years.
He's Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny, and will be one of the newest members of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism Mass Communications Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Brad. We'll see if we'll let you off on October 30th so you can attend the gala. Chris Dickerson with the Alumni Advisory Board there. Hey, Chris, thank you so much for making the announcement here on the program. And for anybody that wants to attend, can they attend in October? How can they do that? Is that too early?
Absolutely. We'll have some information out very soon about it. It's October 30th in the Don Morris Room at the Memorial Student Center. And we'll have ticket information available very soon. We're finalizing some stuff about that right now. One quick thing, Brad, we'll have a Daily Mail reunion that night too, because in addition to you being inducted this year, Matt Lockhart, who was also a sports writer briefly at the Daily Mail and is now an attorney for Norfolk Southern, he's being inducted. And Stephen Keith, a food writer for the Gazette Mail, and he works for a travel media company. He's being inducted as well.
Is he your brother-in-law?
Yeah, I see him every once in a while at family reunions, family meetings, family dinners. So
it's a very small state.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate it, and I think we have set the record for most green on Talkline in one segment. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. Brad, congratulations, and sorry we had to trick you to get you to come on the segment.
I'll forgive you at some point. Thank you.
Thanks for making it happen, Dave.
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate it. Brad, congratulations once again. Got to take a break. Coming back, we'll get the latest on a murder trial in Montague County.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
The rule of law protects our communities. Integrity protects our values. Conservative Justice Gerald Titus spent his career fighting for both. As a prosecutor, Titus took on criminals and traffickers. Now, as a justice, he applies the law as written, fairly and independently. Endorsed by law enforcement, he stands with those who protect and serve. Because when courts uphold the law, criminals are held accountable and communities are safer. For Justice Titus, it's personal.
I'm Justice Gerald Titus. I spent my career upholding the rule of law. I was born here, raised here, and now my wife and I are raising our family in West Virginia. We need judges who are fair and apply the law as written and protect the rights of all our citizens.
Vote to keep conservative Justice Gerald Titus on the West Virginia Supreme Court. Vote early or on May 12th. Paid for by Titus for Supreme Court.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Closing arguments are underway this morning in Montague County Circuit Court, just a couple of blocks from here in downtown Morgantown, in the murder trial of Joseph Navarra. He is accused of killing Kimberly Osborne in May of 2024. Testimony has been continuing all of last week, yesterday, closing arguments this morning, plus a weird twist associated with this case. WAJR, our flagship in Morgantown, has been covering this trial throughout. Mike Nolting joins us. He's host of Talk of the Town and in the WAJR newsroom this morning. Mike, good morning. Closing arguments today in the Navarra trial.
Yes, good morning, all. Yeah, closing arguments are likely underway at this hour. The jury came back at 9 o'clock to get their final instructions, and then those closing arguments were set to get underway. Now, you know, this trial has been very, very unique. Now, we'll get to what happened over the weekend, but it's been very unique from the standpoint that the jury has actually been able to hear from the victim, directly from the victim, in terms of from body cams from past investigations of domestic violence situations. So that really has to weigh heavy on the jury. And then that testimony is reinforced by family members and friends talking about how violent Joseph Navarra had been over the period of years. And we just heard in that newscast there that back in 2022, Navarra was charged with strangulation in connection with an attack on the victim, Kim Osborne.
No witnesses called by the defense, Mike, is that right?
That is correct. None. And there was talk that Navarra may take the stand himself, but that was just talk.
So, Mike, what happened over the weekend that was associated with this trial?
It actually goes back about a week before this weekend. There was a gentleman from Ohio named David DeWalt that had begun to threaten John Claiborne. John Claiborne was the gentleman with the testimony where Navarra, the defendant, came to him and told him that he had killed Kim Osborne, went so far as to say that he had seen the light go out of her eyes. And when there was a little bit of maybe a shadow of doubt in Claiborne's mind, Navarra took him out to the Silverado truck that belonged to Kim Osborne and showed him her dead body in the back seat. This Claiborne testified against Navarra and had been threatened in the weeks leading up to the trial. Then Friday, a day after his testimony, his camper burned, destroyed by fire in the campground that is owned by Joseph Navarra along the Mon River in the city of Westover. David DeWalt has been charged with arson and retaliation against a witness in that case. But the Sheriff's Department, knowing that these threats were taking place, went out ahead of time, and they were able to put up some game cameras around the camper, and they've got images of DeWalt at the camper on the night that it happened, and he did admit to being there, but said that he did not start the fire.
So maybe I missed this, forgive me. How is DeWalt connected to Navarra? I mean, how do they all come to know each other?
Well, I guess this is where I have to improvise just a little bit, because it looks like we've stumbled onto maybe a small Appalachian crime syndicate, because we're really trying to figure out where DeWalt figures into this as well. But the best that we can tell is that DeWalt is an associate of maybe some other business enterprises that were talked about during the trial.
Talking to WAJR's Mike Nolting. And Mike, from a legal strategy standpoint here, this doesn't seem like the type of trial where you're trying to prove whodunit. Rather, is the prosecution with the witness testimony and the testimony about his Navarra's violent past, is this more about trying to prove first-degree murder, which is premeditated, versus a lesser charge of second-degree murder, perhaps?
I think you're exactly right, and I think that if you take a look at the testimony and the way the defense has handled this, it looks like, maybe at first the defense thought that there was maybe some room to create some doubt. I think now the defense has switched to, we want to get mercy in this case.
Talk to me a little bit about that defense strategy, because we talked about the Claiborne testimony, which very damning, I would think. I'm curious, how did Chris Wilson cross-examine that witness? We didn't have a chance to follow up on that. It happened the day after we spoke. Can you give us some insight there?
Oh, absolutely. Chris Wilson's very skilled defense attorney. What he tried to do was to bring a series of mutual friends and business associates in front of the jury and basically showed that everyone here involved in this group was involved in lying, cheating, stealing, and breaking the law. So how can any one of them be believed?
WAJR's Mike Nolting from the WAJR newsroom in Morgantown. Closing arguments are today in circuit court, and conceivably the jury can have this case by later this afternoon. Mike, keep us posted on details. Thanks so much. Good job covering the trial.
Will do. Thank you.
Coming up, we'll maybe get to a text or two and wrap up the first hour. A couple of million could go a long way. The Lotto America jackpots start at $2 million and grow until someone takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday with 9 ways to win. Even the smaller prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The current jackpot is $22.68 million. Get your chance at manageable millions. Back to the Encova Insurance Studios in a moment.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito is more than a true conservative and proud West Virginian. She's a champion of our way of life. She doesn't just fight, she delivers, working with President Trump to close the border and keep our families safe, protect our energy jobs, and cut taxes, and establishing the New River Gorge National Park, a powerful economic engine. Shelley Moore Capito, our senator, our champion.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZL Milne Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZL Milne, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Couple of quick texts before we call it an hour. 304 Talk 304. Texter says, Real WV article on donations and expenses is showing a candidate has received a third of her campaign money from out of state. She's trying to unseat present representative. This primary election, we aren't physically seeing the candidates out to hear and ask them questions. Going into voting this primary as uninformed voters, the many flyers not sufficient to truly know your candidates.
Fair point. I mean, if you can't raise money inside the state to fund your campaign and the majority of your money comes from outside of the state, what does that say about the candidate? I'm not saying it says anything, but I do think it's something voters may want to weigh and consider.
If someone or any organization wants to influence policy and politics in our state, either by voice or money, we should know who and what they are. No one should be able to hide from the people who live here and those who have to live with the repercussions of their dollars. Thank you, Mitch, for your calm, reasonable position, not fearing issues or debate just because the funder is not from here. Maybe this contributed to Mitch's remarkable success attracting employers to West Virginia. Why does outside money have interest in West Virginia? Well, because there's power to be had, money to be made, and many gullible conservatives to make off of it, says the texter. All right, coming up, remember that resolution that was going before the State Bar Association? We'll tell you what happened with that when we return. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
All this Joe Ansel here, and timing your Tuesday. Cold starts to the day before we get into some warmer sunshine. Most of the state included in that freeze warning to begin Tuesday, and then late in the afternoon and evening, I'll watch for a chance of some general thunderstorms and a chance of a general passing thunderstorm on Wednesday as well. As we're timing a warm front, then a cold front combo, and a trough in between with some breezy southwest winds. Fly Sierra to forecast, it starts at home. New York City waking up to that cold start as well. Then you're near 53 out there, 61 with a chance of a shower on Wednesday. Elsewhere, Orlando, highs near 80 or so, and much of Florida, some dry, breezy weather with some potential increasing wildfire risks for today out there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, the morning freeze warning, and then highs mid-60s to near 70 up here. And then late, showers likely, chance of a passing thunderstorm and not nearly as cold. We have lows in the low to mid-50s in here, so no frost or freeze expected tonight. Warm front bringing in a chance of a shower and storm as well. Eastern areas, freeze warning, and then sunny with highs in the low 60s to low 70s in here, and near 50, give or take tonight, with a chance of a passing shower and general thunderstorm for our central to northern areas. Highs in the ranks of the 60s and 70s, with that freeze warning for most to start the day before we get into that warmer sunshine. And highs in the 50s for most overnight, with that chance of showers and storms. And to the south, highs 60s and 70s here as well. Huntington, near 79, flirting with 80 today, and then 50s overnight with a chance of a passing shower and thunderstorm. Charleston for the next 7 days, warming up into the ranks of the low to mid-80s, but later this week, 82 Thursday, 85 on Friday. 2 likely rounds of rain and chances for thunderstorms Wednesday and then later Saturday and Saturday night.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline. We're in the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson of Morgantown. TJ Meadows is in Charleston. Ethan Collins is our audio producer this morning. You can thank him if you're listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia, or if you're watching on the Metro News television app, YouTube, or Facebook Live, thank Jake Link. He's our video producer. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk to Rachel Fetty Anderson, one of the Democrats running for the party's nomination for U.S. Senate. Also, what's got Democrats worked up and filing an ethics complaint with the primary election looming. We'll talk about that coming up in the next segment. Your calls, texts, and tweets always welcome. 800-765-TALK, the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. TJ Meadows is in charge in Charleston, or at least in the room he's in right at the moment. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning. You know, we talk about heavy things on this program. We talk about issues that need to be debated and discussed. No one would argue that. But this morning on my coffee, my daughter wrote on the collar, "Best dad ever." Perspective, my friend. What else really matters after that? Perspective.
Not too bad. That's awfully nice of her.
It was awfully nice of her. She's gotten in the habit of doing that, and she writes certain things. And sometimes, you know, my other kids will too, but my middle daughter especially, that's her thing now with Dad. And you know what? If you're having a bad day, and we all have bad days, or you're thinking, man, perspective. So that's my little uplifting tidbit today. I'm often accused of being a pessimist and just top of the hour. Hey, the S&P's tanking, but that's my little upbeat thing for the day.
304-TALK, 304 the text line, and 800-765-TALK is the phone number. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, Brad McElhinny had a story at WVMetroNews.com that members of the West Virginia State Bar, the agency to regulate training and ethics for attorneys, will be asked to consider a resolution explicitly supporting the rule of law in the United States by reinforcing judicial independence. George Karrenbauer offered that resolution. The resolution was up for a vote during the State Bar's annual meeting at the Charleston Convention Center last weekend. Joining us on Metro News Talkline is Zak Ritchie, a West Virginia attorney, to get us up to speed on what happened and why. Zak, good morning. We appreciate you joining us from the Charleston studios.
Good morning. It's great to be here, guys.
So we appreciate you stopping by. What happened with the vote on this resolution that was before the bar explicitly supporting the rule of law in the U.S.?
Well, yesterday morning, the resolution was discussed along with other matters that was before the state bar membership at the convention center. And there was great discussion on the resolution, and Mr. Karrenbauer presented it, and many folks in the room, attorneys, offered their comments and feedback. But I think it's important, and ultimately it was the resolution was defeated. But ultimately, the reason is because the resolution, in my view, not only exhorted members of the bar, attorneys, to promote judicial independence and to speak out against violence towards judges, which everyone can agree with, and everyone did agree with in that room. The resolution went a little further and identified certain controversial matters that are currently going through the court system, as well as a controversial rule from the Department of Justice concerning ethical regulation of its attorneys. And some of those because of those political issues, it was a recommendation of many in the room and certainly certain officers of the Board of Governors that they should not proceed with this, because the state bar is a mandatory bar. It's a regulator. We're actually an arm of the Supreme Court of Appeals. And under the First Amendment, to be compelled to join and compelled to pay dues, those organizations cannot force the members to subsidize political viewpoints that are beyond the core mission of the bar.
So more fundamentally than that, and I agree with you, no one is against judicial independence. We don't want judges targeted or acts of violence against judges and these kinds of things. No one disputes that. But fundamentally, it kind of comes back to this narrative. Do we yet need another law? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, when you are admitted to the bar, you take an oath and you pledge to uphold the Constitution. Do you not?
That's right.
So that in and of itself, 3 different branches, that's constitutional. You've already pledged to uphold it. So why do we need another law, another resolution? I mean, does that figure into this at all?
I think so. I mean, in my view, the system's working as it should in a lot of these cases where people of good faith can disagree about whether the whether the federal administration is taking the right position in immigration cases. The system is working. Judges are ruling. They have judicial independence. That doesn't mean we don't speak up and protect it. And I think that's, and I respect Mr. Karrenbauer and his effort to remind people and remind lawyers to speak up, talk to their families, speak in their communities about what is important about judicial independence. What does that mean? And that means judges shouldn't be pressured by politicians. That means they should have job security. We have jobs, federal judges have life tenure. Mm-hmm. And in West Virginia, they have longer terms than politicians. 8 years for circuit judges, 12 years for Supreme Court justices. That insulates them from political pressure. And that's why I think everyone in the room understood why Mr. Karrenbauer wanted to remind everybody and to put this resolution forward, much like resolutions you hear about in the houses of the legislature. They're statements of a body. And so I think you saw a lot of agreement, a broad agreement on the importance of reminding the public, reminding attorneys of their oath, and to support and educate on these issues.
Zak Ritchie is joining us, state attorney. The West Virginia Bar, I don't want to say necessarily rejecting, but opposing that resolution. Zak, could this resolution or similar resolutions be taken to local bar associations, which are not mandatory, and they could possibly vote on this?
That's exactly right. And I think that point was made several times in the meeting and to Mr. Karrenbauer, is that the West Virginia State Bar is, as I said, is a government regulator. But there's the West Virginia Bar Association, a separate entity, a voluntary organization, and as well as the Mountain State Bar Association. There are other groups, and certainly county bar associations. Absolutely, without any First Amendment issues, those organizations can speak on their own for themselves. And in my personal view, that's where this resolution would have been more appropriately brought.
The more I think about this, it seems to me like this is more addressing the symptom and not necessarily the problem. Because when I think about the catalyst and what we're seeing with the judiciary and these threats and different things, I mean, just face it, it comes from the White House. It comes from other politicians. I don't know that this really cures that ill, right? So, I mean, again, well-intentioned. I don't know if it would have changed anything.
I think that's true. I mean, but it is important to have a reminder, to have a public dialogue. I don't think this resolution of itself was going to solve any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was going to bring attention to, and has brought attention to, even though it was defeated, it has brought attention to these issues. We're talking about them here today.
Sure.
And I expect Mr. Karrenbauer to bring it up in the future and at other organizations. I believe he said that he would, and which I think is great. And these issues should be debated. They should be debated and raised publicly. It's important to have these public dialogues, and again, for educational reasons at minimum. But they're important issues, important reminders that we're only one generation away, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't protect our Constitution, the separation of powers, judicial independence, why it's so important. We're at 250 years now, but we have to preserve that. We have to remind people and educate why it's so important to have an independent judiciary so it can function as part of our system of government.
Zach, you kind of beat me to the point that I was thinking about. Even though the resolution was defeated, in some ways it's been successful. Here we are talking about this issue again. This is the second time we'll have talked about this issue here on the program. And if this gets taken to other voluntary associations, you're getting that message out there and the importance of just reiterating what George Karrenbauer was talking about, what you're talking about, that there are systems in place to uphold the rule of law, even in the face of pressure from politicians. So in some ways, even though the resolution was defeated, it's at least been successful in sparking conversation.
Absolutely. And in particular, it sparked conversation. Several people in the room weren't aware of the proposed rule from the Federal Department of Justice, which if enacted, will allow them to review ethics complaints against their own lawyers first before the state bars do that. And there's going to be a lot of discussion. There's going to be lawsuits about that, no doubt, but the system's going to work. And part of that discussion was understanding, including what our Attorney General, he wrote a letter with 14 attorneys general in support of that proposal. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that DOJ rule. So that's going to be something that's going to be discussed by folks in our state bar. And we have great people. I mean, I've been involved with the state bar since I became an attorney. We've had great executive directors, our board of governors, great public servants. And so I know everyone's working. There were no loud voices at this meeting. It was a discussion of people with good faith.
Let's move beyond you being a member of the bar, being an attorney. I think you're a dad.
I am.
Correct? Okay, give me a little freedom here. You talked about one generation away, 250 years of the Republic. When I was coming up, the principal of the grade school I went to was a first-generation American. Her parents came here from Greece. She had a love of this country like none other that I have ever known. And it was drilled into us in the school system, the finer points of the Constitution, what America meant, that freedom is just that fleeting if you don't protect it. Why do you think, and I'm assuming you do, that we've gotten away from that? You talk about making sure the next generation has it. Why has it been so easy for us to neglect those lessons? And we talk about STEM and all these things, but we don't hit on the heart of the Republic. And as our fathers told us, it's something, if we can keep it, we could have.
You know, I think a lot of this has to do with a lack of focus on civic education, and perhaps we've taken our eye off the ball. I know a lot of schools work very hard to do this, but it starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten away from that. We're distracted. We're by our devices. We're polarized by politics. You're either for me or against me. And to be sure, politics is important. It's not a bad thing. We have to have these conversations, agree to disagree. But there are certain fundamental truths and traditions, and that's why it's so important to study our history and learn these lessons, because we don't want to repeat some of those tough times we had early in the Republic.
Zak Ritchie, West Virginia attorney, the state bar, defeating that resolution that was proposed by George Karrenbauer. You can read more later over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Zach, appreciate you coming in. Thanks for the update and the insights today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Coming up, what has Democrats in the state of West Virginia, or at least the Democratic Party, wanting to file and filing ethics complaints? We'll talk about that coming up next.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Looking to advance your career without putting life on hold? Earn your MBA from Glenville State University in as little as 18 months. Choose from in-demand concentrations like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and healthcare administration. Whether you're leading teams, analyzing data, or protecting digital systems, our programs are designed for working professionals who want flexibility and results. Take the next step with an MBA from Glenville State University. Learn more and apply today at glenville.edu.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 $100 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Text line is 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. 304-TALK-304. You've heard the buzz about CityNet fiber expanding across West Virginia. Now you can check your address, choose the plan that fits your needs, and even pick your preferred installation window. Visit citynet.net. Remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. Coming up, Rachel Fetty Anderson going to join us bottom of the hour. She is one of the Democrats running for the U.S. Senate. So, TJ, it is election season, and as you know, and as we have documented here on the program a couple of times, the Republicans are running a closed primary election this year. That means only Republicans can vote in the Republican primary election. So as part of those recruitment efforts, the Republican Party sent flyers out, and TJ, that has Democrats crying foul. What gives?
So Democrats are saying that the Republicans are trying to disenfranchise voters based on this mailer. The insinuation being that only Republicans can vote in the primary. And that obviously isn't the case. They say I don't want to put words in their mouth, I guess they feel that the mailer could be misconstrued. But when you take a look at it, this is a two-sided postcard mailer, okay? What's page one, Dave? What's page one? I'll tell you what page one is. Page one is where the address is at. And on the front side of the postcard, it says, your vote in the Republican primary starts with registration. Switch by April 21st, 2026. Your vote in the bolded Republican primary. You flip it over, and then there's a narrative about why the law changed and why you should switch and yada, yada, yada. A reasonable person looks at page one. You read from left to right, top to bottom. You read the whole thing. I'm not sure you can make a case that a reasonable person would assume that the only way that you can vote in the primary, even if you're an independent or Democrat, is to register as a Republican. What the mailer very clearly, in my opinion, says, the only way you can vote in the Republican primary is to be a registered Republican. We all know how I feel about the closed primary, but I don't think it holds up. That's my 2 cents.
No, this is what you do when you're looking. Look, Democrats, it's good strategy from this standpoint. It reiterates the Democrat priority. I guess it's priority that, hey, independents, you can vote on the Democratic ticket in the primary election. So by bringing this up, just bringing this to the attention, here we are. Again, we're talking about it, and the Democratic Party is able to reiterate to independent voters who may feel disenfranchised, who may not be happy with the Republican Party, whatever the case may be. By bringing this up, saying there's an issue and we're going to file a complaint, it reiterates to that group, come on over to our side. Come on over. You can be part of our group. We're not going to make you make a decision, which has been some of the messaging from the Democrat Party since Republicans closed their primary or chose to do that about a year ago. So does it hold up? I'm with you. I don't think it holds up at all. I think any reasonable person who got that understood the message there. But strategy to continue to push your message out when you are the super minority party, I understand the strategy here.
And it goes back to this short-term gain versus long-term gain. Most voters may not think about this, and we have a short memory. But when we talk about performative politics, when we talk about optics versus policy, this is very much optics. Mm-hmm. And I think many voters thirst for policy. What is going to move West Virginia forward? How does this affect economic development? Things that could really matter to the state. So when you're doing the pros and cons and you're trying to develop a trust in who you want to back and who you want to support, I think this one goes in the con category. I think it could backfire long-term on Democrats. Is there a short-term gain? Sure. I just wish more politicians would play the long game, and that's not what this is.
This texter, by the way, this hits on something you brought up a couple of times. I've been saving this text for a couple of minutes now, TJ. 304 Talk 304. As a new resident of the state, I registered as a Republican for the primary, but will switch to independent the day after I early vote in the primary. Hope there are many like me because we need jobs, not hate, says the texter. Something you brought up well, I haven't been on the show that long, but a long time ago in regards to us, TJ. How many people will do that? I guess we'll have to look at the numbers after the primary election and when new numbers come out in, June. But there are some. There are some who are thinking like you.
I will admit to you, I haven't made a move, but I'm thinking hard, and I struggle with this. I really do not want to join a party. It's just not me. But I'm locked out, and I tend to view things and side with one faction over the other. Do I want to see change? Do I need to swallow hard and vote and switch and then switch back? I don't know. It may come down to the old 11:59 decision tonight, David. I'm not really sure what to do about it.
We should have the latest voter registration numbers by the end of the week, so we'll get to see what impact, if any, this has all had as we head into the May 12th primary. Speaking of which, we'll talk to one of the Democrats running for the party's nomination for U.S. Senate. Rachel Fetty Anderson joins us coming up on the other side of the news break. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios on Metro News. For 40 years, Metro News is the voice of West Virginia. Right now, it's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
You're all this Joe Ansel here, and timing your Tuesday. Cold starts to the day before we get into some warmer sunshine. Most of the state included in that freeze warning to begin Tuesday. And then late in the afternoon and evening, I'll watch for a chance of some general thunderstorms and a chance of a general passing thunderstorm on Wednesday as well. As we're timing a warm front, then a cold front combo, and a trough in between with some breezy southwest winds. Fly Sierra to forecast, it starts at home. New York City waking up to that cold start as well. Then you're near 53 out there, 61 with a chance of a shower on Wednesday. Elsewhere, Orlando, highs near 80 or so, and much of Florida, some dry, breezy weather with some potential increasing wildfire risks for today out there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, the morning freeze warning, and then highs mid-60s to near 70 up here. And then late, showers likely, chance of a passing thunderstorm and not nearly as cold. We have lows in the low to mid-50s in here, so no frost or freeze expected tonight. Warm front bringing in a chance of a shower and storm as well. Eastern areas, freeze warning, and then sunny with highs in the low 60s to low 70s in here, and near 50, give or take tonight, with a chance of a passing shower and general thunderstorm for our central to northern areas. Highs in the ranks of the 60s and 70s, with that freeze warning for most to start the day before we get into that warmer sunshine. And highs in the 50s for most overnight with that chance of showers and storms. And to the south, highs 60s and 70s here as well. Huntington near 79, flirting with 80 today, and then 50s overnight with a chance of a passing shower and thunderstorm. Charleston for the next 7 days warming up into the ranks of the low to mid 80s, but later this week, 82 Thursday, 85 on Friday. 2 likely rounds of rain and chances for thunderstorms Wednesday and then later Saturday and Saturday night.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point.
Join Tony Caridi, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
MetroNews Talkline continues from the Inco Insurance Studios. You may not be thinking about boat weather right at the moment, but soon enough, it's going to be time to get out on the lakes and rivers, and you're going to regret it if you don't go to LewindoMarineSales.com right now. Check out the entire inventory and great deals on pontoon and fishing boats. LewindoMarineSales.com. Lewindow Marine Sales, we sell family fun. We'll get some more of your texts coming up in a moment. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line, and 800-765-TALK is the phone number. There are a handful, I believe 5 Democrats running for the party's nomination for U.S. Senate. Among those is Rachel Fetty Anderson, a Morgantown-based Democrat. She's a former city council member here in Morgantown, whose campaign centers on family policy, public interest, law, and working class advocacy. She joins us here in the Encova Insurance Studios this morning. Rachel, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Do me a favor. Pull that mic down right in front of you there. There we go.
Is this a little better?
Perfect.
Through the top? All right.
Perfect. Much better.
Good morning, Dave.
Appreciate you stopping by. So you've been involved in local government, but why jump into the race and seek the Democrat Party nomination for U.S. Senate?
You know, I have 4 kids, and they are young adults or heading into young adulthood, and I've acquired them in a number of different ways, and I'm very familiar with the range of opportunities that are available to them. And I became very discouraged because I was really looking for a candidate that would fight for our kids to have more educational opportunities, more work opportunities, more opportunities out in the wider world as they grew up and went to college or decided not to go to college. And I was looking around me, and I was just checking out the candidates that are out there, and I didn't see anybody that was really ready to go to bat for the issues that I think are front of mind for Morgantown's families, for my family, for families in West Virginia. And I was looking for a candidate that I thought could fight for our kids and our families.
Rachel, when you talk about that portfolio and that platform and what you want to do, does that seem more like a state issue to you more so than a federal? Could you be more effective running for state office? Why federal office for that?
You know, I'll tell you what, I am so well represented by my state delegates and senators. And you're right, a lot of these issues are affected deeply by state policy. But at this point, we have a very powerful executive who is using his powers for good or evil, depending on your point of view. And I was really profoundly disheartened by the actions of our federal representatives, our senators, and our U.S. representatives as they went ahead and approved of policies that were deeply affecting us on the local level because they were committed to getting in line and staying in line with the president's policies. And I just don't think those policies are working. I don't think they're working for Americans.
Rachel Fetty Anderson joining us here in studio, Democrat running for U.S. Senate. You come from a large family. Give some folks some insight into your background and how that has shaped the policies you would support in the U.S. Senate.
Sure. So I'm the oldest of 6 children. I grew up in a pretty complicated house, a very liberal father and a very conservative mother who really struggled a lot and would, talk a lot about politics in our day-to-day life. I was born the same year as the Heritage Foundation and ALEC. And, I like to say that those two entities have been hard on my tail ever since we were all born. I mean, Aerosmith was born the same year, too. So, it wasn't a year without some bonuses. But, my family decided to, they were in that my mother was very much engaged in that very evangelical world. She was a trad wife before trad wives were a thing. And so when I was 10, she decided to pull all of us out of public school and to homeschool us. And so we really got to experience sort of that high quality Heritage Foundation driven educational experience and sort of that those responsibilities. And so I'm very aware of the difference between how a policy or a set of policies forwarded by a national PAC or a national lobbying organization can look on the outside and then how it's experienced on the inside. So I'm very committed to ensuring that public education is fully funded. I really hope that, I was very disappointed when Rayleigh's Law was not passed. I really hope that we can regulate homeschooling families to some degree to protect the safety of the children in those families because they're often not safe. And I really am committed to making sure that when we talk about our commitment to the Constitution, that we mean the whole Constitution, that the average citizen is not funding the religious expression of another citizen, that we're not instigating policy or creating policy that deeply affects other families' lives who don't share our values or don't share our religious beliefs.
Let's cut to something a little more hard and fast. I want to talk about the federal deficit that we run year after year, the escalating debt. We're about $2 trillion a year in the hole every year. Washington has failed to curb that. Under your leadership in the Senate, what would you do to change it?
Well, I see the deficit as deeply affecting our futures and the future of our children. I was very disheartened by the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. I'm very disheartened by the reality that we're all experiencing, where the budget for the Defense Department, now the Department of War, was increased without really an ask to reach, I think it's 1.4 trillion now. So we are headed into a situation where the deficit is actually going to be compounding. Now, I think that the decisions that are made under that bill and under the executive orders that have been coming out of the White House indicate that there's sort of a magical belief on the part of the administration that somehow if they bomb enough countries, if they collect enough oil from other places, that we'll be able to somehow overcome whatever energy deficits we imagine we have. He'll be able to appease his donors. We'll begin seeing more manufacturing, and that somehow we'll manage to overcome that. But I don't think that the planning involved in these decisions has resulted in prudent budgeting. I don't think the spontaneous actions by the executive to invade various countries at a cost of several $billion a day, I don't think that's helping us out with the deficit. And I think overall we are going to be paying, and worse, our grandchildren are going to be paying.
Rachel Fetty Anderson is joining us, Democrat running for U.S. Senate. The primary election comes up on May 12th. Your campaign has emphasized putting West Virginians ahead of corporate interests. Can you give me a specific example of what that means?
Sure. So on Inauguration Day in 2025, we watched as, of course, our president was inaugurated, accompanied by many IT professionals and many IT CEOs and AI CEOs who had made substantial donations to his campaign and to his inauguration fund. 3 days later, we watched him sign an executive order that authorized the mobilization of essentially all of the different facets of the federal government to begin speeding along the development of data centers. And 3 months after that, we saw the regulations and law pop up in our own state house, where we watched, under House Bill 2014, we watched our own state House and Senate approve a bill that then stampeded AI centers into West Virginia and blocked FOIA requests from our citizens. And then 3 months after that, we saw an executive order from the White House that mobilized energy production for the purpose of serving these data centers. I think what we're seeing at this point is how the influence of enormous corporate donors who receive tax breaks from local governments who are trying to get jobs and from the federal government, these folks are getting tax breaks, and then rather than doing what old school companies used to do, building a school or building a sidewalk or building housing for their workers, whatever it was they used to do, they're just funneling that into big campaign dollars. And then the campaigns are required to reciprocate. I think it's impossible to imagine a world where that's not the case. And you can see that in some of the different decisions that different campaigns have decided to take. For example, I don't take any corporate money, I don't take any industry money, and I don't take any money from any PAC that supports the actions of any foreign government. And those are choices that campaigns can make to show that they're going to be committed to serving the interests of voters rather than the interests of corporations or industry.
Rachel, I understand running against the Republican agenda. I understand the criticisms of the president, of Senator Capito. But you've got a field in the primary. You've got to get past the other Democrats first. So why you and not another one of your Democratic competitors?
Well, you know, I like to call us the Spicy Five. And whoever wins among this very wide-ranging group of people, I will support that person. I'm asking for folks to vote for me in the primary because I think I'm a little bit closer to the ground in terms of how my public interest practice has really worked very hard to serve individual families in West Virginia. I'm very focused on the actual needs of our residents and trying to either serve those needs through my public interest practice or on a day-to-day basis where I've worked with food pantries and working to make sure that folks have access to shelter. I've seen on the ground how we can step outside of some of these imaginary rules. For example, there are 3 attorneys, in the race, and I think it's wonderful. It is really helpful in a state where we're not represented by any attorneys at this time to consider voting for an attorney who might be able to help us wade through the morass of legislation that needs to be addressed, as well as negotiating in a clearer way that is more beneficial for individual West Virginians. But when it comes to those folks, I'm on the ground working in communities and working in our community to try to make sure that we solve some of our day-to-day problems. And I think I just have a better grip on what some of those issues look like and how they're affected by federal legislation. For example, one of the things that's very important to me is serving children, serving women, and the reduction of healthcare services that are available to women in our state. I'm very aware and working with women in different spots across the state who are desperate for healthcare, who are not able to access it, and whose access is being affected by decisions made at the federal level about which programs to fund and how to allocate those funds. So I'd like to think that I'm the best candidate because I'm the most in touch with the day-to-day needs of West Virginians, and I'm really committed to working on those issues and fighting for individual families and individual communities because we simply have got to come back from this. We can't be the 5th largest producer of energy and 51st in median income and be at the very bottom in terms of maternal health and infant health. We just cannot continue to do this. We can't.
She's Rachel Fetty Anderson, one of the Democrats running for the party's nomination for U.S. Senate. Rachel, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you again, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Dave. It's great to see you as always.
Got to take a break. We're back in a moment. We'll get to some text before the top of the hour. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Poor circulation can lead to serious health problems. At WVU Medicine, we provide world-class vascular care, close to home and always within reach, treating aneurysms, varicose veins, and more, with advanced, minimally invasive procedures. Call 877-WVU, the number 4-HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito is more than a true conservative and proud West Virginian. She's a champion of our way of life. She doesn't just fight, she delivers, working with President Trump to close the border and keep our families safe, protect our energy jobs, and cut taxes, and establishing the New River Gorge National Park, a powerful economic engine. Shelley Moore Capito, our senator, our champion.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that they didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
A couple of million could go a long way. The Lotto America jackpots start at $2 million and grow until someone takes it home. Drawings happen every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and with 9 ways to win, even the smaller prizes can feel like a big win. Just $1 to play, in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The current jackpot is $22.68 million. Get your chance at manageable millions. We got time to get a text or two. 304-TALK, 304. Texter says, I think independents, such as me, will vote for her since I can't vote in the Republican primary, says the texter. Really good interview with Senator Vince Deeds yesterday. He seems like the real deal. Makes me want to move to that district just to vote for him. Well, I mean, you could, I suppose, if you wanted to make that kind of commitment. Sure.
I think I would just cut him a check.
You could do that as well.
That would be easier than moving, would it not? I don't want to move again. It's hard.
Oh, it's the worst. Moving's the worst, CJ. I've done it 3 times? 3 or 4 times we moved.
And once was enough.
And the amazing part of that is the amount of junk you accumulate in between, we moved, you first get married, you get your first apartment, house, whatever, then you move to the next one. Where did this junk come from?
Yeah.
And you've got 3 little ones too. I mean, and they've got their own junk. So
I
just
got
stay
an
where you
attic
are,
full
man.
of
Don't go
junk
anywhere.
right now. Dude, I'm not moving until they get out of school. The day the last one's out of high school, I'll get a condo in Hilton Head. Until then, I'm where I'm at.
304 Talk 304. I switched to Republican so I could vote for our existing senator in District 10. Not a Morrissey-backed candidate. I will switch back to independent after the primary immediately. All right, hold that thought. I got a thought. I know you've got a thought, but we got to take a break. We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
I'm Tom Willis, running against Shelley Moore Capito for U.S. Senate. Sarah and I love raising our kids here in West Virginia. You're the best people in the world, and it has been my honor to serve West Virginia for 26 years in the West Virginia National Guard, including flood duties all over our great state, and now in the state Senate. Shelley has abandoned our West Virginia traditional Christian family values, is ranked as one of the top insider traders in the U.S. Senate, and instead of negotiating for West Virginia families, got her son appointed as DA. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message because it's time for a change, West Virginia.
Paid for by Tom Willis Victory.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers, where passion meets purpose.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus?
A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Don't forget, May 3rd is the deadline to apply for the West Virginia Scholar Program, a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College. One high school junior will win that, including room, board, tuition, and fees. Go to WVMetroNews.com. Click the Apply Now button. Deadline to apply is May 3rd. 304 Talk 304. Today is the final day to register to vote or change your voter registration status. We'll get numbers, TJ, I think on Friday. From the Secretary of State's office. We'll see if people have switched Republican. How many will switch back when we get to, June, July, and August heading into the November election? We will have to see. Some of the texters say they're going to do it or have done it.
To each his own. If I do it, I'll change back immediately after, and that'll be the signal. That's how you express your concern and your disappointment that independents are locked out.
Coming up, Metro News midday on many of these same Metro News radio stations. We'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.